Raindrops and nuclear waste. A short story. At one point, my title was Senior Chemical Engineer within a Department of Energy project called the DWPF Glass Vitrification Plant. This is a black box facility that any problem in the process basically closes the whole process down. It was built in a canyon for construction terminology and designed to be shut down and covered over with sand and buried for time immemorial if something went wrong in it. So as a senior chemical engineer, I was given one of the black box process areas system interlocks to worry about. This is electronics, computer systems, controlling and overseeing this whole black box and feeding it and watering and monitoring it and shutting it down, deciding that the world as glass vitrification was designed then, is known, would shut down, and a billion, multi-million, hundreds of $1,000,000 project would be done instantly. This is how critical this controls design was. My primary assignment, my first assignment, was interlocks that would make a decision to shut that black box down. Hundreds of millions of dollars worth of decisions that has to be made within fractions of a second. This is process control systems design. You're worried about timing, bouncing, noise, anything else going on that could cause you an issue in making a decision on whether to shut down a large project. So inside of this, the raindrops. We've been studying raindrops as long as we've known how to study raindrops, and we still do. The general theory of the formation of a raindrop that you're so familiar with, you take for granted, is there is a seed particle that the actual water, the H2O molecule itself, will grab onto and begin to gain some mass, and other molecules will grab onto. A raindrop contains thousands of molecules, which is multiplied times 3 for the number of atoms that make up those molecules, H2O. 3 atoms in water times how many molecules of H2O in a drop. This is stereochemistry. This is how some things interact, the boundary layers of physics. So if that assumption, if that guess, if that tested science is fairly accurate, and it's still being tested, this is how good and how bad we are. Anyway, that water droplet formation was the basis of the stereochemistry for the furnace area that my system fed. So this was part of the black box, the actual molten furnace where the glass was going to adhere to the low-level nuclear waste the Department of Energy desired to encapsulate and make sure it could never get into a criticality. That's a big word. So raindrops and nuclear waste. Now, this was 4 decades ago. This little bump in my employment history, this little non-degreed experience of a senior chemical engineer, that was the title given to me based upon experience, training, education, and background without a degree. You can still do that, it's not easy. So, raindrops and nuclear waste, vitrification, the encapsulation of materials so that they can't escape from the environment that they're placed in. Materials so they cannot come close enough to each other to begin initiating criticalities within whatever they're put into. This is what we've been looking at for decades. This is hidden in patents and royalties, and oh shit, if we admit we did something wrong, then we're wrong. raindrops and nuclear waste. Just one tiny piece of a long story.